Hi 9K, I just thought I'd put you together a little video to help you with your homework. I know that you can't take your geography books home with you, so just to make sure that you have the notes that you need to answer my worksheet, I'm going to give you the information in this short video. So the homework this week is dealing with 3 different types of rainfall. And just as a little overview, our 3 types of rainfall is relief rainfall, frontal rainfall and convectional rainfall. So we looked at these last week in class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through each of those 3 different types of rainfall with you, and then you should be equipped with all the information that you need to answer the worksheet. So the good thing about having the information on a video is you can pause it, rewind it, go back to a part that you maybe couldn't write quick enough for. You can submit your answers by writing out one-word answers for this, it's totally fine. So you can write those out on a page and take a photograph, or you can type onto a Word document and then submit that. If you can and you have the technology, you can certainly write on the worksheet that I have uploaded. Okay, so here we go. The first type of rainfall that I'm going to talk to you about is relief rainfall. So I'm going to show you if I can turn this round. Let's see. Okay, so unfortunately I can't turn that round like I wanted to, but that's okay. So first of all, we know that the word relief, we know what that means from our map skills topic. So the word relief is referring to the shape of the land. So if we think about that, that can help us to remember what this type of rainfall is. So relief rainfall occurs when most of the moist air is forced to slide over the peaks of mountains. So taking into account the meaning of relief, and that talks about the shape of the land. When we think about the shape of the mountains, that can help us to remember what relief rainfall is. So relief rainfall is quite common in Britain, especially in the west where most of the high land is located. So obviously it's more frequent the more higher land that there is in an area. Okay, so as the moist air rises up, it cools down and then the rain making process comes into operation. Okay, so you do see this mostly over mountains and higher land. Okay, and that's your relief rainfall. And how do we remember that? We remember that by thinking that the shape of the land in the mountains is different to the shape of the flat land down towards the sea. Okay, good. So second type we're going to look at is convectional rainfall. And convectional rainfall is showery weather and can bring some thunderstorms. And this is the type of rain that we'll see during the British summertime. Okay, so you might need that for one of your questions later on. The British summertime, we would usually see convectional rainfall. So when the ground surface is heated by the sun, which would occur normally in the summertime, we don't get that warm weather in the winter. The air up above is then warmed up. So the air rises, and as it cools down, clouds form and then rain follows. Okay, so this can happen on dry land, often beside the sea. That's where the land is not dry land, flat land, and that's where the land is mostly flat. So it can be heated up by the sun, rise up, and as it cools down, it condenses and forms clouds. And remember, this is the type of weather that we're going to see mostly in British summertime. British summertime. Okay. Our last type of rainfall that we're going to look at is frontal rainfall. Frontal rainfall is common in Britain in the winter. So we've seen convectional, which we would see more in the summertime in Britain, and frontal, which we're going to see more in the winter in Britain. Okay, so again, that's what you're going to need for your last couple of questions. So when an area of warm air meets air that's at a lower temperature, it rises up and over the cooler air. Once it rises, cloud and rain will follow. Okay, now can anyone remember where the place where warm air and cold air meet? We talked about this in class. If it's frontal rainfall, the place where hot air and cold air meet is called begins with F, 5 letters, called a front. Okay, so it's where hot air and cold air meet. Okay, Good. So just a little recap. We've got relief rainfall. Remember, clues in the name. Relief means the shape of land. We're talking about mountains. Usually occurs over higher land. Okay. And quite common in Britain over the high land. Us in Carrickfergus, we don't really have that much high land. We're near the coast. Therefore, we're not going to see an awful lot of relief rainfall. Second one, convectional rainfalls, one that we see a lot in our summertime. Brings blustery showers and thundery weather. And this is when the ground surface is heated up by the sun, warming up the air above it. It then rises and cools and forms clouds and then rain. And our last one's our frontal rainfall, which we see more commonly in our winter time. When a mass of warm air meets an area of a lower temperature, it rises up and over the colder, heavier air. Once it's made to rise, cloud and rain will follow. Okay, and the place where warm air and cold air meet is called a front. Frontal rain is common in Britain, again in our winter time. Okay, so hopefully you're now equipped to answer all of the questions. Just to recap, the three main types of rain: relief rainfall, convectional rainfall, and frontal rainfall. So now I'm going to let you go and answer the questions on your worksheet. Bye 9K. See you on Wednesday.